Come on now, Net Jester. What'd you expect?
Jester, you watched it before you...
Someone's being a spoiled sport.
God damn it, Net Jester. That's fine. It should just be me anyway, because I don't want... When I'm reacting to this, just let me have this, because I have a feeling that my head is going to be filled with so much what the fuck.
Your job is to commentate.
Yep.
Your job is to commentate what's going on, what's happening, how you feel about it, etc.
You're basically a reactor on YouTube.
Which, I hate those fucks. But...
Right.
Unless, like, if it's, like, H3, or one of the ones that, like, stops the video and, like, explains, and they're like, this is why this is fucked up, and, like, shit like that, that's fine. But the people who just, like, watch a video and, like, nothing else, those people should all die of AIDS. And I don't mean the disease, I mean they should take the AIDS, AIDS diet supplement, like a bunch of those, and then die. Oh yeah, we're on the air.
Well, I figured that we were on the air.
And I just said that a bunch of people should die from AIDS on the air.
And if you haven't been listening to us, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Dear Jesus Christ, why aren't you playing music? Yes, we can hear you now, Omega.
You can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let's do this thing.
Yo, get that radio graffiti off of there. I fucking hate radio graffiti, by the way.
Bro, I can't just go full heel. It's not gonna happen.
Do it.
I know.
Turn
I know. I know.
How do you hate radio graffiti? I think it's hilarious in good and bad ways sometimes.
I think it's just kind of spammy and he's too much like reaction.
All right. Are we in West?
We're in West, but we're waiting for... why is there no broadcast in here, by the way?
Is it broadcasting yet?
We're broadcasting.
Well, we're broadcasting? It's coming over the thing?
Yeah.
Alright. Just making sure.
Everything looks nominal.
Alright, for a second there I didn't see Smark Snark, and I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Alright, just go live.
Alright, go. Yeah, let's fucking get started. It's live. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to episode number 211 of the Smark Snark podcast. I don't have a funny joke, but I am looking forward to this San Diego Comic-Con news. So apparently, there's going to be a new Shockmaster figure, and the Shockmaster figure is going to be looking like it's coming through the back of the package upside down without a Shockmaster helmet. In other words, you're going to be able to get a Shockmaster helmet in a figure, and it looks amazing, and it's WWE Elite. And I swear to God, if I don't have one in my hands if I don't have one by the end of SDCC, I will be extremely angry. Also, I stood 10 feet from John Cena on Sunday, so there's that. But let's start the show. Welcome Welcome. Episode number 211 of the Smark Snark podcast. You can call in the podcast at 812-408-9666. We are in, what is this called? Discord? We're in Discord now. So a link went out earlier today on my account at Gunnar Wuher, GUNNARWUHER, and to join us in the actual Discord. We're also in West, Southwest, and you can check us out in there as well. And joining us this week is Omega VR.
Investigate 211.
Exactly. Also, our wonderful technical producer, Mr. Jacob DDS.
Yep.
See, he's sighing because later on in the show, he has not seen the Matt and Jeff Hardy greatness that has occurred on this podcast yet, or in the past week with that wonderful video package that ended Impact. So he will be live reacting to that later on. Also joining us this week is Nat Jester.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? And let me tell you something. Oh, you think I'm nuts? Wait until you see the brothers.
Also joining us is Save Us Dog.
Howdy ho, Deuterinos.
Vassar's here.
I never noticed how therapeutic the inside of an MRI machine is until last week.
WMC Masters is here as well.
Speaking of Brother Nero, I'm holding a baby right now. Unfortunately, she's real.
Oh, I was about to say you should punt it. And Donkey Lips.
For 3 weeks, y'all been missing me. I'm back.
Can you smell what the crock is cooking?
Brock Lesnar will compete at UFC 200, his first MMA match since 2011, against the 12-10-1 Mark Hunt. Lesnar reportedly started training for the fight in April after WrestleMania, and WWE was quick to note that the fight is a one-off, and that Lesnar will appear at SummerSlam. In fact, UFC will promote SummerSlam at UFC 202, which happens to be the night before, and will finally feature the highly anticipated rematch between Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. Dave Meltzer reports Lesnar has always had the option in his WWE contract to entertain UFC fights. Also at the 202, CM Punk is supposedly going to make his debut.
Yeah.
Well, one can live and die in hope, but being Punk and his luck, you never can tell.
Honestly, do you think Lesnar's going to win this one, or is he going to lose?
Hunt's called the KFC King. I see Lesnar winning this one. No disrespect to Mark Hunt, but I see Brock taking this.
I mean, it's entirely dependent upon, is this a stand-up fight? Then Hunt's got a serious chance. If it's on the ground, then he's going to get destroyed by Brock. It's purely about how the fight goes.
I think it's going to last 2 rounds. I think Brock submits him with a Kimura. I think that Kimura thing is going to get super popular, like it did, like when he came in at first, breaking Triple H's arm and whatnot. I think that essentially Hunt's a tomato can in this. I don't believe that Hunt ever really stood a chance against Lesnar, and I think they picked Hunt specifically because he didn't stand a chance against Lesnar. Gonna be good money, not gonna lie.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah.
I really think it's just Brock wanting to leave UFC with a victory instead of a loss.
Exactly.
There's just that fighter's pride that he's got, that every fighter has, that he just wants to be known as a winner.
Yeah, you got some pride, all right. I'm not talking about the defunct fight from.
Yeah, we got it.
That fighter's pride, I'm telling you, that's some of the best Mid-South fried chicken I've ever tasted. That's a specialty stuff right there.
See, didn't we miss each other?
Moving right along.
Is this going to become the new Rob Van Dam thing where it's just a one-time deal and they keep talking about it until he eventually returns full-time?
Yep. There's been a lot of speculation over WWE getting UFC fighters to appear at SummerSlam, possibly female fighters such as Paige Van Zandt, though WWE someone already owes UFC for Ronda Rousey appearing at 31. Rousey had surgery on her knee that will sideline her possibly into the end of the year. So I don't think anybody from the UFC is going to transfer over. But I keep hoping to see what's his name, Punk's friend.
Which one?
Chael Sonnen.
Sonnen?
Yeah, I keep hoping to see
Chael
Sonnen
Sonnen.
in WWE programming, but that's not going to happen.
He's been trying for a while, hasn't he?
He's a little bit too small, probably, for the WWE. I don't like. And does he have any experience with wrestling? Also, Paige Van Zandt.
No,
Why?
he would just be a commentator. I would want to see him as a commentator.
Okay. Why are they interested in Paige Van Zandt now, other than she's won the title and she's on Dancing with the Stars? I mean,
Because Rousey's injured.
That's what a... Who cares? I don't care. I mean, she's a good fighter and everything, but who would give a shit?
Well, Rousey's hurt. Holm literally just got destroyed by Misha Tate. I don't think Misha Tate's a wrestling fan. You go to the next best thing. I say no to everything and just wait till Rousey's healed, and if you want to call that favor, and call it in at WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no reason to bring someone in for SummerSlam when you're going to need to sell tickets for Mania.
Yeah, I wouldn't be terribly surprised.
You're going to have to, being Rousey's hurt. That's the long and the short of it.
Let's see here. We're going to move on.
Goldberg's deal to appear in WWE 2K17 is with 2K Sports and not WWE. However, Vince McMahon had to approve the deal, and it could lead to something more, as it did with Ultimate Warrior and Sting.
That's the slippery slope argument here. I expect Goldberg in the Hall of Fame this year.
That's not the question. Is not if he appears. Do you see him one more time in the ring?
I really, honestly, am convinced they're going to try and redo WrestleMania 20 and not screw it up this time. But that's just me.
I would disagree, actually, and I think we're going to get a standoff like we did with Austin and Austin and Rock last year, or this year rather, with just in the middle of the ring doing stuff and talking, or giving finishers to a heel faction or something like that.
I could see him coming in as a surprise entrance in next year's Royal Rumble or something.
Ooh,
yeah.
He comes in, he clears the ring, and then maybe he gets bumped out by somebody.
And then Triple H bumps him out. I got $5 for anybody that disagrees that if Goldberg is in the Royal Rumble next year, Triple H is the one that comes out and throws him out of the ring.
Nah, Roman Reigns is going to do it.
He got you.
I know there's all the talk about him going into the Hall of Fame soon, but the reality is they're probably going to be doing Mania in Atlanta again in that new stadium sometime in the next 2 to 3 years. Wouldn't be a bad idea to have Goldberg on the Hall of Fame card for that one. So they may save it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, who's excited for Goldberg versus whoever the fuck is left? Goldberg versus AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Ooh.
In WWE?
No.
Shinsuke could carry Goldberg for a match.
If I had my dream match, I'd have Goldberg versus Sting again, but unfortunately that's not going to happen.
Why would you want that again? Why would you want that again? That's my question. Really? All right, moving on. Speaking of incompetent people, Jimmy Snuka was ruled not competent to stand trial in 1983 death of then-girlfriend Nancy Argentino. A new hearing will be set in 6 months to reevaluate. So if in 6 months, and I guarantee you that in that 6 months he's still going to be not competent at all.
Mm-hmm.
I feel terrible for the family for not getting the justice that they deserved and whatnot.
Well, I mean, he's not competent to stand trial, which is not a big surprise. His brain is probably mush.
Well, I mean,
what more could they
speaking to the
do?
guy, I mean,
Was it the
after speaking to
coconut?
Guy, dude,
Oh.
what the fuck? They presented that in place. They presented that in court though, like it was.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Yes, it
You show a jury, professional wrestling, and holy shit! And you submit it as real evidence. My God,
The Hogan trial broke so many borders with that. Like, that may become a thing.
Oh my God! All right, so Cody Rhodes.
Kayfabe is real, by the way.
Kayfabe is real.
It's real.
Cody Rhodes is quickly checking names off his list as he will be making a post-WWE debut at Evolve 66. Will compete in PWG's Battle of Los Angeles and is set to face the man he lost his first professional match to, Pat Buck, at WrestlePro on September 10th. And don't forget that August 27th date with Kurt Angle as well. Looking forward to all those.
Dude, somebody give me money so I can go to Bola this year, please.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Oh my God, this is the year to go.
Cody
I
is
gotta
already
ask-
hot fire.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying Cody's already hot fire on the indie circuit. Jesus, he's already just announced some stuff, and now he's just gonna be.
I'm sure he'll be in Japan.
Yeah.
So you think that's where he's going to land permanently, is Japan?
I don't say permanently, but he'll land there.
And then,
I definitely see him doing a stint there. Yeah.
definitely a Will Ospreay thing. We'll probably end up getting into him. It's not on here. Congratulations to Will Ospreay. Osprey. Brandon Osprey. Osplay. For winning the Best of the Super Juniors tournament last night. It was pretty fucking sweet. Cameron revealed that on the Steve Austin podcast that her new favorite match is Savage Steamboat from WrestleMania 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling shenanigans.
Look,
I'm calling fucking shenanigans on that right now.
Yep.
She saw that in a list of all-time great
Exactly.
matches and saw a lot of other people who like that match and
Mhm.
probably was shown it once and it was just like, okay, that's my favorite match now.
That's the go-to answer for everybody.
Yes, exactly.
What's your favorite match? Savage Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's just like a normie first getting into the business would give, getting into fandom would give that answer.
I mean, I'm not trying to, knock that match, because that match was a damn good match. One of the best matches of all time, but, coming
This
from
shit-
her, it's like,
Yeah, exactly. Coming from Cameron, I don't buy any of it.
Word is that Luke Harper was cast in a horror movie called Mohawk.
Wait, what?
You said
yes.
Mohawk? Like Mohawk the hair? Like Sheamus?
Mohawk, the hair.
Oh,
Directed by Ted, I can't pronounce his name, Geoghegan?
have-
Geoghegan.
I half hoped you said Cruz, and I would have lost my shit.
It's going to be one of those, let me guess, one of those Indian/Native American thriller thingies, right?
I'm figuring it out right now.
Those are the only two motifs that go with Mohawks.
After one of her Mohawks is a horror and action tale. After one of her tribes set an American soldier's camp on fire, a young female Mohawk finds herself in a cat and mouse chase. She flees deep into the woods where she confronts Colonel Holt and his soldiers as American soldiers seem to close in on her and her Mohawk youths, Oak and Calvin. They must use their real and supernatural resources to fight back. So,
Sounds cool.
Yeah, straight to B movie thing. I'm looking forward to this. It should be interesting.
This sounds like something you would watch on Chiller or Sci-Fi during the middle of the day, during the weekend, maybe.
Yep. Speaking of another Luke, word is Luke Gallows is quickly becoming the most popular in the WWE locker room due to his levity and ability to lighten the mood. Who doesn't want to hang out with a good brother?
Exactly. Everyone loves Sex fucking Ferguson. I love Sex Ferguson. He's the coolest son of a bitch, dude. He is literally the coolest.
Hey, Wes,
You know why?
just sweeten me.
It's too sweet, bro. Whatchamacallit? It's his super hot, sexy wife.
Yep.
They're probably just throwing.
I'm
They're
just saying
beer
this-
bashes.
Go ahead.
They're probably just throwing beer bashes in the back, and everyone's happy about it. Big parties and shit. Cool. Kegs.
All right.
Well, about that hot, sexy wife thing, I'm going to need pictures to just sort of make sure you're telling the truth
There's
here.
that gesture making it creepy. Let's move along.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, Jester, stop it. Is the former WXW Unified World Heavyweight Champion Tommy End is also heading to NXT.
I can't wait for this.
Oh
And,
my god, yes.
And Yankum gets the last news bit.
Yeah, congrats.
John Cena has signed a new deal with Hefty Garbage Bags that will feature images from most of his matches on the front of them.
What?
Why not PBR?
Oh, fun fact, by the way. I got 10 feet within John Cena, and you can see him.
Here's my question:
Well,
Here's
he's
my
as tall
question.
as I am.
if he's cutting a promo on Raw, will he work the hefty into the promo?
He'll have the
Probably
damn
so.
bags out there.
He'll probably do that, and he'll be like, "I'm hefty. He's
By the way,
wimpy." And
As fake
it
as
won't
that
be
shit
funny.
sounds, that's 100% real. He's literally being sponsored by Hefty,
Oh, yeah.
the brand garbage,
Yeah.
and it sounds
Yes,
like
he-
pure
I'm-
fucking bullshit.
I only made up the bit about stuff from his matches being on the bag because they're garbage. Let's get into the 15-minute time limit.
All right, so the 15-minute time limit. First, we're going to start off with Yankum.
It's not working. I see. Hold on. Sorry about that.
So Yankum has not seen the video, the masterpiece,
Brother Nero.
that the director's cut of the greatest moment in a single night in the history of our sport. And we're going to watch it live and do some commentary.
Or at least TNA's version of it.
All right,
Yes.
so
So this is the director's cut. Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy contract signing for Slammiversary. You can find this on YouTube. This is what aired on Impact last week. Yankum.
all right, here we go.
Yankum, it's all you, my friend.
Who's this fat guy?
First 2 seconds.
Why is Glenn Close in a TNA promo?
Into my humble abode, because this day must be
Oh, it's Matt Hardy.
When I signed
Yes, that is Matt Hardy.
Summiversary, it marks the
This is already
inception
one of the funniest
of
things.
heroes in days. And tonight,
Jesus.
Impact Wrestling
I can tell you-
I thought Glenn Close grew a beard.
personal. I'm a guest.
I am so psyched about his old school Seth Metal
Why does he
haircut.
have a dick drawn into the middle of his yard? Oh, that's Matt Hardy. Okay.
Yes.
It does look like a dick. It's really
It
weird.
looks like a dick.
It's supposed to be some Hawaiian tiki symbol, I guess, but yeah, it looks like a dick.
It's the Hawaiian tiki symbol for dick.
I thought it was supposed to be their old like WWE logo
Listen, I don't
with
care
like the
what
two
happens,
B's on
okay?
each side.
Whatever the hell it is, I'm not sticking
They just
around
cut it
for
into
it.
the yard
At least
because
like we
screw
still
you,
have
we've got
my
money.
I can't talk to him. Spud can't talk to him. Like
I can't believe they have. I don't believe this. I think they rented these things
No, it really is our houses.
Yeah.
because Jeff spent all his money on meth. Matt spent all his money on grapes.
Please
No, he spent
react
it
to
on-
money. Please react.
Ruin Phantom of the Opera for me while you're at it. Thanks.
Brother Nero.
They spent it on girls' toys and clothes and... Oh, you're not at that part, right?
Contract so badly. But this is about making you see the truth.
It's funny watching the extended version after the short version because it adds all this context that they just completely cut out of the shorter version to make it even dumber.
The toys that your little girls play with. It was
TNT,
This
not
was
noted for smartness.
the cringiest delivery of a promo I have ever heard in my entire life.
You mean amazing?
Your last appearance ever.
Crazy, Matt, but you're insane right now, man. I've earned everything I've got. My little girls play with toys that I paid for. Sign the contract. What are you afraid of?
I am not afraid of anything.
Jesus Christ! What happened to you, Matt Hardy? You used to be my favorite Hardy.
Let's go to the sanctuary of a Genesis.
The sanctuary of the Genesis, of the beginning, of the origin.
Just remember, Genesis does.
I love the reaction that Jeff gives Matt. Like, even he's confused by this bullshit.
This is exactly what happens when a $2 company tries to emulate Lucha Underground. Seriously, this is like a very, very, very bad Lucha Underground skit.
Okay, let's walk out to the barn, because that totally makes sense. Also, if you have millions of dollars, why is it just a pole barn?
This is the ring in which it all began in, and the ring in which it all ends in.
I like how you know so much about barns. It's good to know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Did we really need... What is it? He can't even roll out of the fucking ring anymore!
You want to fight?
God damn it, Matt Hardy. Okay, he signed it. It's over then, right?
Why do we gotta wait till Slammiversary, Big Money Matt? You and your sarcastic ass. Let's
Big
do it
Money
right
Matt.
now. Let's do something. Let's end it where it began. Isn't that what you said? Isn't that what you said, Matt?
It is. It is. Then go.
Yes, it
Whether
is.
it's Slammiversary or
And then here comes the lady with the baby in the
will
boots.
come at my time. It don't matter, man.
Jack!
You don't need a crown.
Is the baby gonna take a bump? Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? She threw a fake baby at him.
I told you it would end.
Oh no, not for the love of fuck. Oh, and slow-mo, yes, let's do that onto that fucking shitty table that you went to the goddamn antique store and bought for $10.
Brother Nero is over. Done.
What the fuck?
Brother Nero!
What the fuck did I just watch?
Now remember,
What did I don't fucking get it. Like, none of this. I feel like even if I watched TNA, I still would have no idea what the fuck just happened because that is the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
I mean, I have to give TNA credit. I'm gonna watch Slammiversary now because of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably watching it for all the wrong reasons, but
So,
Basically.
Yankum, what did you think?
What happened to Matt Hardy? He used to be my favorite Hardy. Like he was
that's not saying a lot.
There's only two of them.
right, but between the two, he was my favorite. I liked Matt because Matt was the better, like, technical wrestler. What the fuck happened? He got fat. He can't even roll out of the goddamn ring. Looks like he's goddamn close. What the fuck?
That was
How do you let yourself go that far? You
That
have a ring
spot-
in your fucking barn. How the fuck do you get that much goddamn ring rust?
Bastion
You can't even
Booger
roll
slash
out of the
Maka
fucking
Singh could have done
ring.
better.
Jesus.
You know the sad thing? That, the way his barn looks, is exactly how the dojo looks. Just the ring right in the middle.
It's a goddamn pole barn in the middle of the yard.
I think it's really funny that he decides that you're going to go back to where it started and they just go to his backyard to wrestle.
Because that's where it started, Gunna. That's where
In
it
the
started,
backyard.
brother.
And what is that stupid fucking accent he's trying to do?
You tell me.
You do not sound like that, Matt
Yes.
Hardy.
Yeah,
He's
do
gone
you have
nuts.
any guess?
He's
'Cause
gone nuts.
I have no idea what that accent's supposed to be.
Guess the accent.
He's
Gay vampire.
Remember, like, in the 90s, like, people who, well, maybe not in the 90s, but, like, the people who try and sound, the vampire masquerade.
You mean goth?
Fucking kids. Yeah, but there was the ones that took it a little step, like, even a step further, and the ones that got really into Vampire the Masquerade. And they
I know
just,
what the kind you're talking about.
oh, I can't.
I just
I
role played
can't
it, that's
with you,
all.
Matt Hardy. I think it's time to lay off the grapes.
That was just an entire elaborate LARPing skit in their backyard that TNA.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I'm
my
like-
question is this, Yankum. Do you want to watch Slammiversary now that you've seen this promo?
In the same way that, like, if I see a video and it's like, this is like people jumping from the buildings falling on 9/11. And, and it's not that I want to see it or I need to see it. It's that I, like, when I see it, I'm enthralled with it, because enthralled isn't the word. I'm captivated by it, and that, like, I don't want to see it.
What you're saying
but
is that
I can't
it's really
stop
made
looking.
what you're saying is that it's really made an impact.
Oh, you whack-a-mole, you.
I'm saying that TNA is the equivalent of 9/11 to wrestling.
Oh, God.
Wow.
All right, we're moving
I
on.
would have just went with a voyeuristic car crash.
No,
That's
let
all
him
I
go.
would have done.
Let him go. Let him
TNA
go.
is the 9/11 of wrestling. I've said it. If anyone has a problem with that, I mean, I don't care. But I would. TNA is the Auschwitz of wrestling.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Would you watch Impact tonight, Yankum, if you saw that?
If it was like, if I looked over and it was on my TV, I would not be able to turn away. But I would not deliberately go to watch it, because I'm not a sick fuck who enjoys snuff films.
All right, we're done. We're going to talk about the good thing that's going to happen tomorrow, which is the whole point of us talking today.
I hope to God I go to this.
We're going to NXT TakeOver. First match on the card that's been advertised is I cannot pronounce that name versus Perfect Ty Dillinger.
Andrade Cien Almas.
Before we go, I got to ask something. Before we go there. Why the end? Is there something we don't know about? I'm getting a little weird vibe from NXT TakeOver the end.
Jester, it's just because you're not going to see Joe and or Balor on the NXT roster.
Oh, you think so, huh? They're getting called up.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, now that we've explained it to the symbols, then. First match, debut.
Uh-oh.
Gunner,
All
you
right.
sort of panned out there.
I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting for you guys to chime in.
Well, no, because you.
Oh, Andrade Cien Almas.
Yes.
Versus Perfect 10 Ty Dillinger.
So Sienna's 100. What is that? So it's 100 versus 10.
Well, clearly,
But what is the
100
100
because
thing?
100 is more than 10.
Like, I'm really interested in what that's going to end up being, if it's anything, or if it's just a weird nickname. Is that like a nickname he had before?
I guess none of us know.
No one knows. I just hope it doesn't come out in the top
about
10 spenders.
Let's talk about one that we know is going to be fucking incredible: Shinsuke Nakamura versus Austin Aries. Holy shit, this match is going to be fucking. I'm creaming. Just
This
thinking
could
about
be
it.
match of the
blow the
night.
rip
Let's
off
just
the
pull it out
place.
there.
I've got Aries going over.
I disagree. I have Shinsuke going over.
Shinsuke, yeah.
And I have Cien winning the match before this against Dillinger.
I think that it's going to be really interesting to see the two of them. Didn't they work in ROH? Yes, maybe no.
Probably not.
Can't remember that.
I don't know that they worked together.
Even if they did, that would have been a decade ago. These are two completely
No, that would
different
have been
athletes
2000.
now.
It would have been 2008, 2009. No. All right. No, that who do you face in ROH then? Steen.
Don't know. We got minute 40 here. Asuka versus Nia Jax for the women's championship. The NXT
I'm a little
championship.
scared about this one.
Asuka.
It's Nia Jax, first of all.
Nia
Asuka.
Jax can't fucking go.
And Oscar.
Asuka's gonna win.
Asuka's gonna go over. I mean,
I hope to God you're right, but I have a
It's
feeling
gonna be
that.
So I got a question for you all. I understand that Hogan could have done it because he was 6'7" and 330, but how do you carry somebody of that size to that kind of match? I mean, how do you carry
Very
that?
carefully.
Well, if Bailey did it, I think Asuka could do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not that hard to be the big giant beating up on the little person. It's a pretty easy formula.
Asuka's winning, by the
45
way.
seconds.
Oscar.
Next.
American Alphas versus Revival.
This is going to be match of the night. I'm calling
Gable
it right
boys.
now. And I know that's a bold prediction with how good Aries and Shinsuke is, but
30
these two
seconds.
teams have been great. American Alpha.
American Alpha.
Yep.
American Alpha.
Samoa Joe and Finn Balor.
I'm gonna have to give it to Joe.
Yeah, Joe's going over again.
Joe's gonna kill him.
Yeah, I think Joe wins and he stays in NXT for a bit.
I think Joe wins. Do you guys see any kind of interference from some main roster guys?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
The only thing I want is for them to play The End, that production theme. I don't give a shit about anything else at the end.
Alright. After watching that fucking Jeff Hardy crap, no, Omega, we cannot hear you if you're talking. Let's go to the Dairy Queen drive-thru while Omega gets his stuff fixed. We will, and Gunner's AFK. So, Dairy Queen drive-thru.
Dairy Queen drive-thru.
All right, so with the ratings, Vassar.
I want a Blizzard. Anyways, and now for the ratings. Starting off, TNA Impact, 346,000 viewers, down 4% from the 359,000 the week previous. On to SmackDown, 2.169 million, up from 2.112 million the week prior. And finally, Raw. Raw got 3.255 million, up 0.8% from last week, which did 3.29 million, down 1% from the week before that.
This is what you hear when somebody does a cool spot on Impact. All right, with the birthdays, let's do Masters, WFC Masters.
Oh boy, I love doing these. Alright, for this week in birthdays, happy birthday on the 8th to Egotistico Fantastico, Scott Loss, Maria Menounos, and Tatanka. On the 9th, we wish happy birthday to Dan Severn and the Original Sheik. On the 11th, happy birthday to Mike Ignos and Magnum TA. On the 12th, happy birthday to Fred Curry, Hector Garza, Mark Henry, Jerry Lynn, and Terry Taylor. On the 13th, we wish happy birthday to the Mountie, Vincent, Virgil, Shane, take your pick, and Otto Wands. And on the 14th, we celebrate Bruiser Brody and Buzz Sawyer. And that was this week in Happy Birthdays.
And now, for this week in wrestling history, Save Us Dog.
Oh, okay. This week in wrestling, in the year 2000, in Knoxville, Tennessee, during a taping of WCW Thunder, the infamous WCW 2000 era, Lieutenant Loco, of course, Chavo Guerrero Jr., defeated Daphne, the defending champion, and Disco Inferno in a three-way match to win the WCW Cruiserweight title. An absolute classic, I'm sure. This would be the first major title to change, or the first major title reign for Chavo. And on the very same show, Eric Bischoff awarded Big Vito and Johnny the Bull both the WCW Hardcore title, saying they could defend it as a duo. Also, the night before, Vito and Johnny had helped Eric Bischoff defeat Terry Funk for the belt. So Bischoff's reign as Hardcore champion ended 24 hours after it began. And that was all in like 2 days. Gotta love WCW 2000. In 2003, this week in wrestling, Rocky Reynolds defeated Brother Love to win the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title in Parkersburg, West Virginia, beginning his fourth reign. In 2005, Rob Matrix defeats Tack in Cincinnati, Ohio, to win the HWA television title, ending Tack's third reign. That's a hell of a name for a wrestler. And also this week in wrestling, in fact, 6 years ago today, the Nexus made their debut on Raw, attacking John Cena in probably one of the most infamous segments in Raw history, really.
Is that the same Brother Love? Like, seriously, that's bugging me. Is that the same Brother Love we all know?
From the intro video?
Yeah,
from the
same Brother Love.
Yes, it is the exact same. The West Virginia gave it away.
Yep. All right.
And that was this week in wrestling history.
Happy Trails. Not so
Hold
happy
on.
trails this week.
What? A very somber happy trails to boxing legend Muhammad Ali, who passed away at age 74 this week. He was a guest referee at WrestleMania 1 and competed against Antonio Inoki, the infamous boxer versus wrestler match. You can find that on YouTube. Muhammad Ali is one of the most influential and quite possibly one of the most famous combat sports competitors that you will ever find in your lifetime. I guarantee it at this point. I mean, a quotable man. I mean, ESPN has been going crazy over this. You know, it's a big deal. And for us not to say anything would be, you know, a complete tragedy. I mean, you know, how can you not like a guy who says it's not bragging if you can back it up? Or I'm so mean, I make a medicine sick. The way that he talks, the way that he handled himself, the entire extent of his life. I highly recommend checking out some documentaries on Netflix. If you don't know about Muhammad Ali and, you know, more in depth about who he is, what he stood for, and how he went about his life, because it's quite interesting. And to see him go through that decline and to see him last this long is quite a testament. We here really will miss the greatest. And we also have happy trails to modern fighting icon Kimbo Slice,
who also passed away this week at age 42 due to heart failure. Slice would have made his pro wrestling debut at Inoki Genome Federation's Genome 14 in 2011 against former sumo wrestler Shinichi Suzukawa, but pulled out due to injury. He was apparently he died of heart failure, and he was apparently on a waiting list for a transplant, and was going to pull out of his July fight because of his heart.
Mm-hmm.
In the year 10 years ago, you would find him commonly in the background or in the foreground of particular Reality Kings videos, fighting random guys or punching random guys in the chest for $100. I mean, that's where he really got his start, and he became an internet sensation, if you will, one of the first.
Yep.
And at 42, that's a hell of an age to pass away.
It's sad. It's sad. Gunnar, do you consider Ali one of the greatest promos of all time?
Of course.
I agree. I don't think there's a man in the wrestling business or any combat sport that could touch him on the mic.
Definitely. Ali could have taught class, verse, lesson, and all sorts of master classes to any up-and-coming professional wrestler who wanted to know how to do it right.
Do you know, in my ideal, if I were to sit down and I were to have a meal with three guys, it would be Ali at his prime, it would be Bruce Lee at his prime, and it would be Bruno Sammartino at his prime. And that would be one hell of a steak that we would share. Another Ali quote just before we get into the recommendations for matches. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they're given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact. It's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration. It's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. And I just wanted you guys to think about that for a second there because,
I just want to say one thing before we go on. The word transcendent is thrown around a lot. There were very few people who were truly transcendent, but Ali was actually one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was not only that he was transcendent, he also changed the entire sport of combat sports, basically. And you never saw a fight marketed between two Americans where one was the bad guy. And that's how it started with Ali as Cassius Clay, because he was brash. And you just didn't see that in pro sports at that time.
He was a bad man.
He will be incredibly missed, and there's not a single fighter in the world who was not influenced by him in one way or another.
Fuck, I'm influenced by him.
All right, what should we watch this week in wrestling? We'll start from the bottom up. That means you, Yankum.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to go back and watch the NXT that I've missed for the past couple of weeks. I've been sick as net gestures, porn habits.
That's pretty sick, bro.
I know, right? So I'm going to go back and watch the last 3 weeks of NXT. I don't know if there are any particularly good matches in there, but I'm sure there are because it's NXT.
Oh,
yeah. WFC Masters, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Well, if I actually had to recommend one, I would... Oh, hey. Sorry, my niece is being a little loud here. But if I had to recommend one, I definitely would say go check out Inoki versus Ali, because that match is absurd.
I think that match was the onset of MMA. Really, that technically was the first MMA style match.
Yeah, I mean it's not great, but I don't know. Just go watch it. Words can't do it justice.
Vassar, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
I really can't think of anything, and I didn't watch Raw, so I'm going to pass this time.
All right, The Croc.
Tell you what, I'll expand on what Yankum said. Yankum, you're looking for a good match on NXT. If you missed it, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Opening match, Gargano and Ciampa versus TM61, The Mighty Don't Kneel. Shane Hayes and Mikey Nichols.
Save us, dog. What should we watch this week in wrestling?
I actually got a match in promo. First of all, match from Lucha Underground. You got to watch Monster versus Machine. The Monster Matanza versus Cage, or they call him Cage, whatever he's supposed to be in Lucha Underground. And also the promo, if you happen to miss Raw, you got to go back and watch Big Cass and Enzo's entrance, where he quotes Ali and does a lot of Ali lines, and I literally cannot think of anyone better in professional wrestling to be given those lines than Enzo, and he fucking nailed it. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's great.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Omega, what should we watch this week in wrestling? If you're here. If you're not.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
You can hear me. Oh, all right then. I got nothing.
Understandable. Net Jester, what should we watch this week in wrestling? Make it quick.
Another tribute to Muhammad Ali. It's not really a match, but it's one of my favorite things on God's green earth. Gorilla Monsoon is having a match, and Muhammad Ali decides to get in the ring. It is fun as hell. Watch it on YouTube.
Yep, I think I saw that one recently. I hadn't seen that until he had passed away. I thought that was really interesting. Also, Gorilla Monsoon seems like a guy you'd wish he was your uncle at a barbecue, and to just sit down and just listen to stories. Just saying. My suggestion this week is going to be Kenny Omega and Bad Luck Fale versus Mike Elgin and Satoshi Kojima from this past, Best of the Super Juniors card that was on. It was yesterday because of the ending spot, because that was great. I enjoyed that. All right. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate it very much. You can follow us online, smarksnark.com, twitter.com/smarksnark, facebook.com/smarksnark. You can give us a call at 812-408-9666. Every Tuesday, we'll tweet out the link to be able to get into this particular chat here on Discord. And you can join us on the podcast as well. Thanks for listening to us, West, and everybody else. Go subscribe to us on iTunes. Help us get those numbers up. We'd appreciate it. We wish you well in your past, present, and future endeavors. Thanks, everybody.
All right, I'll say it. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Here's to you, Muhammad Ali.
Good night, Rexburg.